welcome to the Kidney Bean Podcast, Confessions of the Chronically Chill. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Samantha. Hello.
How are you doing, Samantha?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right.
I feel like that's exactly what I say every time.
Yeah.
I'm all right. How are you?
So make sure, of course, to like and follow us on YouTube. Also follow us on all of the social medias, and we are also on Patreon. So today I think we're going to talk a little bit about relationships, maybe a little bit. Just
Sounds
a little bit.
fun.
You seem so excited.
No, that's fine. I think it's a big topic, especially, people who are on dialysis, because that's a big thing. When you have a transplant, I think it's a little more, I don't want to say normal, but it's a little bit easier for a partner to deal with, because you're, taking medicines and you're having to have checkups and things like that, and you're having to watch certain things, but you can essentially go and do anything at any time of day and whenever you want. So without having all the planning and all the dialysis stuff. But yeah.
So I do want to say thank you to last time's guest, which was Michael and Christina Gilchrist at the Living on Dialysis Facebook page. They're awesome people. And also I kind of wanted to talk about, give a little shout out to Emily, who's leaving. I know you went and saw her yesterday. I wasn't feeling very well, so I didn't go, but it's sad.
I know. I think that I might still see her on Tuesday, but it is still goodbye.
I didn't. So Emily, our sister, is moving to an undisclosed location. I'm just kidding.
Her address is...
No, wait. So she's moving out of state, and it's pretty far, and we're going to miss her. And I didn't tell you this because... Did you leave before we did when we were there? Okay. Well, so you knew Anya had a crying fit?
Yes.
Okay. Well, apparently she was upset because Emily was leaving.
Right.
So Emily went to see her in the car, and she was just crying because she thought she was upset about something else, but apparently she was just really upset that they were moving because, Anya gets really attached to people and things, and when she knows it's probably the last time she'll see them for a while, she got really upset.
Yeah, she didn't realize that until you guys were leaving.
But no, I told her,
well,
all
I
the
think
way.
It just didn't click.
It didn't. It must not have clicked. I said, no, we have to go down there because they're moving and we might not be able to see him again. Of course, there's always FaceTime, but it's not the same. So,
right. Well, we know she'll still be listening to us on here. So.
Yes, she better. And she better get some people, some of her neighbors to listen to us as well. That would be good.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. But yeah, Anya was super upset about that.
Aww.
How's your plants doing? So Emily gave us some plants.
Oh, that one's doing well. Actually, all of them are doing well except my spider plant. My spider plant is the one that I can never keep. Mom gave me 3 of them now, and I've killed all 3 and back to back to back.
Well, the one that
actually it might have been 4.
The one we got from Emily's house, Anya decided to name Emmy, so we're gonna name, because I guess we're naming plants. But she comes up with the most random names. I think she came up with Jake or something like that, or something else for the other plant. I said, no, that's weird. We don't know anybody named that. And,
right. I like that though.
But she just comes up with the random names, when she names little ants and stuff. Because sometimes she'll name her ants.
That's cute. But, so are there any tomatoes yet on the plant?
Oh yeah. So Anya grew 3 tomato plants from seeds. And, they're probably about 3.5 feet tall now.
They're big, yeah.
They're really big. So the yellow has started to come, so we know tomatoes coming soon, because
nice,
a little yellow thing.
I'm so proud of her for that.
That's awesome. She's very proud about those tomato
really
plants.
Cool.
The jalapeno plants are doing okay. I need to repot those.
Do you say jalapeno to be funny?
No, what happened was when I was labeling the seeds, so we started them off in those little cups, and I labeled them with black marker, but I didn't write the whole name. So I wrote Tom for tomatoes and JAL for jalapenos, and so she says Jals.
Okay, that's why.
And Tom's. She's like, why did you not write the whole thing? And I'm like, I just need to know which is which.
Because we sometimes will say jalapeno, and so I thought that's maybe what you said to her, because she was like, the jet, she couldn't remember. And then,
because she calls them the gels.
Yeah,
that's
and
what
then
they
I
were
was
labeled.
like, Japs?
It's like Matolibs.
Yeah, because we say Japs, at work, instead of jalapenos. Or the computer says Japs, yeah.
Oh, because,
It's just to abbreviate it. So I thought maybe that was where. But anyway. Well, I have a bean post.
Oh, yay, bean post.
Yes, and I'm excited for this woman. I really am so excited for her. Her name is Carol Brooks. She's from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I'm going to have to look at her message a little bit. I tried not to, but she was on home hemo for almost 2 years. She was listed at the University of Kentucky for a year and a half before listing at the University of Cincinnati, where she ultimately had the surgery. She did get a high-risk kidney. That's always a topic of debate with the kidney. I think usually would have Hep C, or the person, the deceased donor, would have Hep C, and then you get the kidney and you get treated for Hep C right away. So in her case, her kidney, the person had Hep B, hepatitis B, and she was vaccinated, so there was a slim chance that she would have it. But she did say that she had antibodies, so the odds were getting very slim, but they were treating it right away. So exactly how I just said. A lot of people don't want to do that. I did eventually this time agree to receive a high-risk kidney if that is what happens, if that's what comes up. Last time, I don't believe I did, because I was so young and I was so scared of, of that. But now it's kind of like, okay, I know, that they would just treat it right away and I would be fine. And it's like you kind of weigh the options there. Like, is the risk higher than the benefit or whatever, so the benefits to me are higher than the risk. Exactly. But so she got her her kidney the final day that they got the insurance approved. So that was on that day, and then it was right before the 50th anniversary of for her and her husband.
Wow, 50 years?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Wow.
And
Grandma and Grandpa Arsu were married.
Yeah, it was the day before.
Years.
So she's really excited, but she said she can't wait to get out of isolation to visit with her 6 grandchildren. And she said, the best 6 grandchildren in the whole world. So cute. So happy anniversary and congratulations for you and your new gift, and good luck with all of that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is.
I love our bean post.
Yeah.
Shout out to people.
I know. I feel bad that I forgot one. The one day I forgot to do it.
That's all right.
But yeah,
well, no one will notice, but now they might go back. Which one was it? Which one did you forget?
I don't care. I'm human.
Lame.
Yeah,
Lame.
That was really exciting. I like that. So relationships.
Yes, let's jump right in. So what I'm thinking is about, like, particularly people that are on dialysis, like what happens, how does your significant other take the news of you, crashing and things like that. So if you want to share a little bit about in a galaxy far, far away.
A lifetime ago
when you were 22 and when you were going through that.
So I, told a little bit about how I didn't know what was wrong with me and I was just really sick and everything. Well, at that time, I was kind of like living the single life at first and just having fun. And then I ended up dating someone, and it was pretty one of those like fast.
How long had you been dating him before you got the...
that was pretty much, I was headed into like going to the doctor and all that right when we started dating. And so I think when I found everything out, we probably were together maybe 3 months, but not.
So probably, that's not a very long time.
Yeah, it might have been less than that. It was one of those relationships that were hot at first, and then they start out so like, I don't want to say hot and heavy. That sounds weird, but
that sounds like something Mom would say.
Yeah, they start out intense and like, he's saying we're gonna get married and all this stuff, and then it burns out quick, because it was only a year and a half. Like, for all that happened,
really,
it was only a year and a half. And he was great at first.
Yeah.
He was very accommodating and very understanding, very supportive. Took me to all the appointments and did all the right things. And I was just very comfortable with him. But I didn't know that was part of, when a person isolates their partner. Kind of keeping me away from my friends and family kind of thing. And, this isn't to throw him under the bus or anything. This is just what happened.
Right.
I still, think fondly of certain times back then. And, he was really funny.
Yeah, he was hilarious. You still do some things that you got from him when he would go to people at the grocery store.
Going through all this, he made recovery and things like that very fun.
I just remember that he brought you a can of kidney beans when you got your diagnosis, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, he did all kinds of things that were very thoughtful. And, he's not a terrible person. It's just everybody has issues and relationships are hard. But I was very thankful for that. And, but on the other hand, he made me feel like nobody else was ever going to put up with it. That nobody else was ever going to understand.
Did you feel like he was right in that time?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think back because I started dialysis when I was with him. And, and then to go through a breakup.
Yeah.
During dialysis, and in a serious breakup at that, because even though it was only a year and a half, it was just so
much was going on.
Yeah,
like
so
it's
involved.
not just the relationship, but
then I was young. We broke up when I was not even 24 yet. I don't think, or maybe I had already turned 20. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah, but that was really roller coaster. It was up and down, and then I realized that there are people who will love you for you and everything that comes along with that. And now being with Slim all these years later after that, he's been through me with a transplant and me on dialysis. And we've been friends forever and ever and ever. So
because you knew him even before you met David.
Yeah.
How long have you and Slim known each other?
18 years, because we met at overtime.
Right.
So it's been 18 years.
Gosh, that was 18 years ago. Because I remember when it opened.
Right.
Like I always am just going to think about when it opened.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it shouldn't be that long ago, but it is, because we're old now.
Well, it's funny because talking about Xander and Emily, when we went to see Xander that one time when he was first born, he had already been here for a little while, but we just never got the chance to see him. And we went, it was very shortly after overtime opened, because he was born like 3 days before overtime opened, or 4 days before overtime opened.
Yeah, I just remember, it wasn't it? Well, no. When is Xander's
May
birthday?
May 5th. And,
okay, so it was close to my birthday.
Xander is May 1st.
May 1st.
But the restaurant opened May 5th.
May 5th.
Yeah. So that's when Slim and I met. And we were friends, so he knows everything that I've been through. So it's not that he, came into it without knowing, came into the relationship without knowing. But he had never been with anyone who had all these, medical issues. And,
right.
When, I had a transplant I was using the transplant probably the first almost 3 years that we were together, and then went on dialysis in 2018. So he's been right there through the last almost 4 years. So it is a lot. It's a lot and when you're talking about Michael and Christina, he really, as a care partner, and Jimmy and Dawn, our other guests that we had before that, it's a lot to take on that other half of the dialysis, just in general.
Yeah, because even if you're not like the care partner, it's a lot of, there's like no just getting up and going anywhere. Right. There's no spontaneous.
Right.
And spontaneity.
Yeah, spontaneity. Yeah. And you see it every day. Every day there's the supplies and things there. There's the machine. It's not like with a transplant, you kind of almost forget sometimes. Like you do take your medicine and that sort of thing, and it's always in the back of your mind, but it's not something that you have to even really talk about with your partner if you don't, if something doesn't come up.
Well, I've been watching this show called Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah, I watched that.
Oh my gosh, did you see the US one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking about, like, if you're on dialysis and dating, is kind of, do you talk about it initially, or? That
comes up a lot in the Facebook groups. So I think I gave a piece of advice to someone who was asking, and I said, just be yourself and let it come up organically.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're on a first date and you're kind of not really feeling the vibe of that person as much as you would want to, or as much as, somebody else, then maybe you don't have to say anything,
Yeah. So yeah, because it was kind of interesting to watch that show, because there was one girl that was like, she didn't want to tell people because they make assumptions. and it kind of came out to this guy, and he seemed like he was really interested in her, but then he never dated her again. Like, he never called her after that. And I'm kind of like so sad about it, because I feel like they had such a connection. Like, it would have been cool for him not to buy into the stigma of it.
Well, and you're rooting for the people who have autism. You know, I was rooting for all of them. I mean, I'm sitting there laughing and getting teary-eyed and, like, you know, up and down emotions, because, I mean, it's just such a struggle. I felt so bad when that same girl was like, you don't know if you're saying the right things, if you should say anything, if you shouldn't say anything. And like, so all the time a social interaction is just, and I get, a lot of people do, but I get a little bit of social anxiety, especially now that we haven't been outside for a long time, or out in public for a long time.
And you know, I do. I've always had a lot of social anxiety about things.
I'm looking back and not realizing that was what was happening to me. Like, when I would have to get up in front of class, when I would have to, I think we talked about this, but when I would have to walk into a room, you know, of people, or it was very prevalent at certain times during school. Like, I think in high school, a lot of times it was really hard, and you know, your whole body gets tingly, and you're just, and even doing this, I get nervous doing this. And so certain interactions, I mean, I do pride myself in being able to be in any different situation and kind of just like blend in with everybody, or, you know, just hang out with any type of person or whatever. But there are those times where I'm just like, my whole body, I feel like everything I say is stupid and all that stuff. So, I mean, her to have that all the time, it's just sad. And when she was practicing, like how she was going to order and stuff like that, you know, I think a lot of people go through that, and it's just, like I said, you're rooting for them because you understand, you know, a glimpse of what they might be going through.
Well, I'm the other way. Like, I can talk in front of people. Like, I was always good at giving school presentations. Yeah. Where I suffer is, like, just going and hanging out with people sometimes. Because, you know, growing up in high school and stuff like that, I didn't really have any friends or anything. But that was, like, completely my choice. Like, I didn't want to hang out with people. I liked being by myself. And so, like, I'm introverted, like.
Right. And see, I'm extroverted, where hanging out with people is my specialty, you know.
Right.
I just don't want the focus to be on me. Because,
and it's so weird that I don't mind it being on me.
Yeah, because you're good with karaoke, and their stage presence is just awesome. And that's something I've always envied, because...
Really?
I mean, you see me, I was reading that message, and I'm like I'm choking up, and I'm like, I know how to read, I know how to speak, so what's the disconnect there? I don't understand. You know, and so... I've always wanted to be able to go and just freely sing karaoke and not,
because I feel like you could do it. Like, it's not that you can't sing, because you can sing.
Yeah, I just feel like when I get up there and you see all the eyes, like, remember when we did when we were there for Halloween at Overtime? Yes. And I had the handmaid's costume on. I was hiding behind that bonnet that I was able to do you know, to look down, which was very in character.
Right.
And you know, I won the contest, but I just was very comfortable hiding my face, because everybody's looking at you. When all these people are looking at you, it's like...
Now, that was a really good costume. Yeah. It's weird how you had that dress. Like, you had that dress, right?
Well, my friend Phoenix gave it to me when she was going through her closet, like, just getting rid of stuff because she was moving.
Did you connect it to the handmaid's tale?
As soon as she gave it to me, I said, I want to wear it. I barely fit it. I barely fit into it. Like, it was tight. But I was like, oh, looks good for a handmaid. Because I actually, to be honest, I really already had thought about doing the handmaid for Halloween. And then when she gave me that, I was like, this is perfect.
And I was just like a generic witch. All of my costumes have been generic recently. I don't know. Like, I need better
I've
ideas.
always really liked all my costumes. But
yeah, you have really good costumes.
They usually end up where they start out not costing any money, and then I'll be like, oh, I need to get this and this and this. Now, the Handmaid's Tale costume, I only spent money on the bonnet, which was like $10 on Amazon. I already had everything else. Yeah, because you had
the boots and everything.
Yeah, I already had everything else, and then she gave me the dress. But anyway, moving on.
So today we have a special guest.
Yes.
From the West Coast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she's going to be our first West Coast person.
Sweet.
Brandy Mae Collins. And I had seen a post that she posted about her boyfriend's reaction to her in the hospital on dialysis, and I'll let her talk about it. But I just thought it was interesting because of how people react to the diagnosis and things like that. So that's really what I was interested in talking to her about. And she's an artist in California, and she's I guess she's like into the heavy metal scene. Her boyfriend plays for a heavy metal band, so I kind of want to get into it. Let's go ahead and get into talking to Brandy. Okay, so we have Brandy Mae Collins on. Hello, welcome to the Bean Post.
Hey,
oh
Brandy.
wait, no, not the Bean Post, the Kidney Bean.
Welcome was fresh to the Kidney Bean. Your makeup looks great.
Yes, I love your lipstick.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, your eyeshadow too. Looks
so
great.
where in California are you coming from?
Runner Park, California.
And what's that close to?
Petaluma.
Oh,
Santa Rosa, like 45 minutes from San Francisco.
Okay, so that's like what, central, kind of?
I think we're
kind of southern. Right?
northern. We're North Bay, California.
Oh yeah, northern. Petaluma is northern. Yeah, yeah.
I know it's a big state, so.
Yeah.
How's the weather out there?
Oh, it's beautiful out today. It's a little warm, but it's got a good cross breeze going.
Yeah, we were actually born in San Diego. I don't know if we ever talked about that on here.
Did we? No.
Oh, I bet that's nice.
Our producer, the man you spoke with, David, is also from San Diego.
When you said "did we," I was thinking you were asking like, "Were we born there?" I was like, what?
No, yeah, of course we were born there. So, thank you for coming on. We've been talking a little bit before we talked to you about relationships, and so we want to hear your story. But the reason I asked you on was because of that comment you left in one of the groups of the Facebook dialysis groups. Do you remember which comment it was about?
Yeah,
what happened in the hospital? Yeah. So I had reached out to Brandy. I was like, how would you like to tell your story? Because that's something like we haven't really covered yet as far as relationships go. But if you want to, because I can know you're new to being on dialysis. Is that correct?
Yeah, like I'm still in training. I'm like towards the end of my training, and I've already had my surgery, and I'm starting to get my iron shots and all that. Starting to feel a little more put together
for PD, right?
So when did you tell us a little bit about how you got your diagnosis and stuff like that?
So when I was pregnant with my son, I developed gestational diabetes, and then they said that my kidneys, I developed kidney disease, chronic kidney disease.
Wow.
And then I don't know, 6 years crept by, and I felt really tired all the time, and I was with a very emotionally abusive man who didn't understand that I was sick because I didn't look sick.
We were just talking about that, literally.
He thought I was being lazy, but it was really just because like I didn't have the energy, and it was weird. Kept drinking coffee, and I was like, something's wrong. I thought it was my thyroid because I was holding a lot of water, and so they did some blood tests, and they're like, you need to get to the hospital right now. You're like, your kidneys are completely like starting to fail. And I'm like, oh.
Wow.
And how long ago was this?
February.
Wow. So not long at all. Wow.
This is new.
Yeah, you're the first person we've had on that has just been diagnosed. Everybody has, it seemed like 22 was the magic year when everybody got sick. I don't know what year you were pregnant or how old you are now, but a lot of people were saying 22 is the year that they developed CKD. So, can I ask how old you are?
Oh, I'm 32.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty close, because 6 years ago it would have been like, what, 30?
25.
Or 25, I'm sorry.
I was like,
yeah,
I was like 25.
Yeah, and it might have actually started happening when you were 22, and we just don't know. Like, we don't know when all of it happened, if there was anything we could have done. That's what's frustrating. And so I totally get that.
I always wonder if it was a lifestyle or if it was just,
I blame
myself. Said it was genetic.
Yeah, exactly. I blame myself for a while, and then also there's a whole thing of I don't really know genetically if anything was wrong with anybody who I'm related to, or if it was passed down or whatnot. I have no idea. And it was frustrating for a while, and now I'm, completely past that and at the point where it's like you just deal with what you have to deal with now, and there's, no reason to harp on how it happened because you'll just go crazy. But what was this comment sorry.
Okay, so yes, please tell us about the hospital visit. Or, I'm sorry, about when you were in the hospital. How long were you in the hospital?
For like 5 days.
And what happened with your boyfriend then?
So the guy that I was seeing, he broke up with me, and that was it. I was like in the hospital in the crisis room. I was in a room with a girl who was terminal with breast cancer.
Wow.
They offered to bring in the chaplain and everything. It was really scary.
Had you guys been together for a long time?
No, the guy that broke up with me, we're roughly together maybe a year, so it wasn't some huge hit or anything. But
still a lot to process.
John, yeah. So my friend John, him and I had been talking for a couple years as friends, and he and I were doing work together with art, and he reached out to me, and we kind of just hit it off, and he went out of his way to take care of me.
Aww.
So he's your ride or die.
Yeah, he actually, his daughter, she used to be a transplant recipient, but for her heart. So he has experience in this, and she had to do dialysis because her kidney started failing because her heart was failing.
So he was familiar with this process. And you guys
I think
have been together since.
I think it takes not anybody can just walk through a stage 5 kidney failure patient and want to date them.
Yeah, we just said that.
It's
but
it's rough because they're afraid you're going to die or something, so they don't want to be with you.
See, I never even thought about it like that. I just think of, which it probably is a huge thing in the back of their mind, but I just felt like it's for some people just day in and day out is too much to deal with. The little things that we have to do on dialysis. So,
a lot.
And I mean, a lot of us are with people, who are very supportive and very loving. It's just, it does take a certain type of person, I feel.
Yeah, it takes a strong person, I believe, to be able to do that.
That's how I decided I wanted to marry Chris. Was he went through something with me that was kind of gross. I don't really want to talk about it, but he had seen not so pretty sides of me, and he was still there. So I felt like, okay, well, if he likes me at this low point, then obviously he likes all of me. So that is so awesome that you're with someone like that. And it's funny because so your boyfriend John, can I say John Allen? Yeah, so he has a heavy metal band. We checked him out. What's the name of the band now? It's
Sadis. He's the drummer from the band Sadis, North Bay, California, Antioch. And he was also the drummer in Testament for a long time.
So yeah, he's been doing this a while. Wow, that's really cool. I told my boyfriend Sean, I said, I was joking because I knew he knew who Testament was. I was like, do you know who Testament is? And he's like, yeah, only one of the top 10 thrash metal bands of all time, Tiffany Cheese. It was pretty funny though. It was pretty funny.
It's funny that you just said marry Chris and then said your boyfriend Sean. So people who haven't listened to the whole podcast, her late husband is Chris. And now she's with Sean.
I'm with Sean. I've been with Sean for a long time, over 7 years. But when I did get married forever ago, because I'm old, I did decide that that was kind of a defining moment for our relationship. Was that he was there with me while I was sick.
But it's perfect,
but not
proof that there are people.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just that one, that.
No, yeah.
Because we feel like that sometimes.
Well, and that's one thing we talked about before we started interviewing you, Brandy, was that Samantha was with someone that made her feel like no one else was going to want her because of what she was going through.
Yeah.
And being at a young age, it's so crazy how you don't have enough life experience to realize that's not true.
Yep.
So you kind of buy it, like
Well,
you believe
and
it.
He was, it's twofold, because he made me feel like that, but then he made me feel so comforted and so good when I was going through stuff, because I was going through stuff, surgeries and everything leading up to dialysis, kind of where you are now. I actually did get a PD catheter placed. That was my first surgery. PD did not work out for me. I didn't even get to try it because flushing it and all that, there were problems with the catheter. It was matted in my intestines and my appendix had to come out. It was a whole thing. But he was there through all of that. And then, when I had to go on emergency hemodialysis, he was there for all that with, the catheters and all the different surgeries and the dialysis, 3 days a week and all of that stuff. So, it's kind of how he pulled me in to, get me to stay, because he was supportive and he was caring and he was funny and he just made everything so comfortable. But then turned it around and was like, nobody else is going to love you. Nobody else is ever going to put up with all of this. You're lucky to have me. All these things, that were just very emotionally abusive, like you were saying. Just very, I'm glad I got out of that. Yeah, and I'm glad you got out of that, even if it was him who just left you, in the hospital high and dry, which is terrible. You're better off. You're better off for it.
Do you feel that way? Do you feel like, yeah, that was miserable, but it's for the best?
Yeah.
Talk about an upgrade.
Exactly.
Now, I know you said
that's awesome,
because you talk a lot about your age difference. So I just want to preface that by saying that my husband was 13 years older than I am. Mm-hmm. So no judgment here.
Yeah, he's 53. I'm 32. But I don't know. We have good chemistry and we can joke around a lot.
Yeah. If it works.
I mean, if it works, it works.
It works, yeah.
You guys are two consenting adults.
Mm-hmm. And also because
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
He has that experience in, the transplant area and all those things. So, maybe it's better for you to be with somebody who's, I don't want to say seasoned, but, just more experienced and more understanding, because
and more mature, because guys mature so late. Like
they do.
If you were to date a 32-year-old man now, they would be like, nah, brah.
they're 7 years behind us.
40, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys are the same maturity level. It only it took 20-year difference.
Yeah, yeah. So you said when you were pregnant with your son was when everything kind of started going downhill for you with everything. How old is your son now then? Is that 8?
He'll be 7 in September.
7, okay.
Oh, do you have any other children?
No, just the one.
And how is he with the dialysis stuff that he's newly finding out about?
He takes it hard sometimes.
Oh.
And other times he seems okay with it. It depends on the day. Like if I look really sick that day, I can tell it really bothers him.
Oh.
Because he's really smart. Kids are smart.
Yep.
They know what's up,
They especially know when something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what I don't know if you do this, but I think what I've seen, and just with my nieces and stuff, telling them more about it actually has helped, because then they understand it. Like my whole machine and setup and everything for home hemo, I just tell my niece about it, her daughter. I just, answer her questions so that it's not one of these things she's afraid of. I don't want the kids who come over to my apartment to be like, oh, I don't want them to touch it or anything, but the more they know about it, then the, better that they feel around it. And I think that helps. But has that been a huge challenge, like your motherly duties that you have to do with having the dialysis training on top of that?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like once I'm doing daily every cycling and everything, and I'll feel more energy.
Yeah.
Right now I'm really low energy because I'm still not on full on dialysis. I'm just training. And so I can feel I feel great after I do some of my sessions, but then within a couple of days I start to feel like crud again.
Yeah, I can't wait till you get past this so you can just work it into your day and go on with your life.
Are you going to do it at night?
Yeah, probably. I'm a night owl. I'll just put a movie on, and I'm an artist. That's what I do for a living. So I'll just paint or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, tell us more about your art. I've seen some things. It's not safe for work, people, but it's really nice. It's really cool.
It's pretty dark, but that's like kind of how I met John in the first place, was because I like to do really dark surrealism style artwork or fantasy, dark fantasy. And I like to approach metal musicians that I respect, and I'm like, hey, I want to give you some of my artwork. And a lot of the time they take it, and it really just helps build my reputation in the metal community and working with people. And it's really cool.
Nice.
And so you gave him some artwork, and you guys had started a friendship from that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, people fall in love with artists. I don't get it, but they do.
What's not to love?
I know. You're beautiful, too, so that's great. I mean, I think that sounds like a nice love story. I like that. So how long have you guys been together?
Like 5 months now.
Okay.
Almost.
But you've known each other for way longer.
She said 2 years.
Like 2 years. Yeah. 2 years.
Cool.
So you go to like metal shows every night? Often?
Oh man, so metal is a big part of who I am, and that's actually been the biggest setback with my dialysis for me. Is like I can't get in the mosh pit anymore.
Oh,
I got to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, I like to go to metal concerts. I like to thrash around and.
Well, you'll have a transplant one day, and you'll be able to do that. But you still have to be kind of careful.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to be careful even.
Sean Killian from the band Violence, he actually recently had a kidney transplant, and he was in the metal community, and the metal community was really amazing, and they all reached out, and I made sure it happened for him. It's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, the people that love metal usually are the nicest people on the planet. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people are like scared. They think they're like violent, but that's not been my experience at all with like people that love metal. They tend to be really super awesome.
Right.
Well, yeah, we're a bunch of nerds, generally speaking. Like, we're probably like busy playing D&D, you know?
Yeah.
Do you play D&D?
I have. I'm a Final Fantasy nerd too. I'm a gamer, like, you know.
That's cool.
I don't play D&D, but we do play Magic the Gathering.
That's awesome. My little brother used to play that all the time, every Friday night at Hobbytown.
Yeah, it's like Friday Night Magic. Yeah. Like, you can go, but see, we have kids, so we just play when they go to sleep. But now they're older, and so they're kind of wanting to get into it a little bit, but they're so impatient. They're growing up in this digital age where they don't care about anything. Like, it's hard to keep their attention for more than, I promised I wouldn't put my hands there, and then I put my hands there a bunch of times.
Oh, that's right.
But, you know, trying to teach them the game, because there's so much to it, and it's kind of complicated. But I think once they get it, it'll be cool to be able to take them to do Friday Night Magic. And then our niece, who's also into metal, is a big gamer. Yes. Yeah. Jade. And she's just turned 30,
No, not yet. She's not 30.
Oh, my gosh, in July. Yeah. That's right, in July. In July, she'll turn 30. Our oldest niece. Gosh, 30. Our niece is 30, or going to be 30. So, but she's in a band too. We're going to see her. She sings for a band called Star Crown. Yeah, shout out to Jade.
She's having a show on her birthday here in Raleigh, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but she likes like Opeth, and I don't know what else she likes. I don't know what else she likes. I can't keep it straight. Like, I can't remember.
I wonder if she likes Bloodbath. If she's a fan of Opeth, she might like Bloodbath, or
I'm sure she probably knows who they are.
Maybe, but I feel like she's going to want to connect with you after she sees this. I know she's going to watch it.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, because this is kind of like the same stuff, the same aesthetic. Like, she wears the huge earrings with the upside down star.
Oh yeah.
But they're like massive. I don't know how she does that, because like that just would bother me, like to have them like
they're cute
over your shoulder and bumping into everything. I don't know, but she has like teal hair, and she's pretty cool. But they're big into gaming too. They have game. In fact, we're having a game night soon, I think, with them, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
So, is there anything you would like to tell our audience? Anything you'd like to say?
As long as you have a good support system, and you just remember that every day is a good day because you're still here.
I agree.
It doesn't make dialysis seem so horrible, and I look at it more as like for like a building, it's a bridge to something else,
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm hoping to get transplant, and I'm getting evaluated in July. So
yeah, good luck with all that. I think that'll be good for you.
We wish you the best with your PD training too.
Yeah.
So
totally agree with what she said.
Is it going good?
Oh yeah, I love my staff that helps me, and the nurses. Everybody's super nice, and it's almost like a visit instead of like going to an appointment, because we can just like BS with each other.
Cool.
I'm glad that's going well, and we'll be thinking about you, and you need to stay in contact with us and let us know how things are going. You have our information, but thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah.
Thank you for setting up some time. I know it's kind of early there on Sunday. It's 3-hour difference.
It's fine.
Yeah. And good luck with everything.
Yes,
and
good luck.
Wish you well. Thank you so much.
Keep us updated. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brandy.
Bye-bye.
So thank you, Brandy Mae Collins. That was
thanks. That
very
was fun.
nice. Gosh, it's so new for her.
I know. I remember back to when I was going to start PD, and it was just all...
It's got to be like very taxing and...
And she has a child, and so, I mean, good luck with all that, because that's a lot.
And she's in a good relationship now, so
and
keep us updated.
Yeah, I think when she gets in the groove of PD, her life will be a lot easier, hopefully, so... because she can do it at night and then have her days free. I think that'll be good. But happy Father's Day to all of
it is Father's Day.
Our listeners who are fathers, and just wanted to say that I think there's a lot, like we were talking about, just with her being a mother and everything like that. I think being a father and being on dialysis and going through this has to have a lot of its own challenges.
Right.
Trying to still look like you have it all together, like you're the strong father figure and all that stuff. I'm sure that presents a lot of challenges and just in itself. But
I guess if we had prepared better, we would have maybe had a father on for Father's Day.
Oh no, that's
but we
okay.
didn't even think about it because
well, we weren't planning on recording
on Father's Day. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Okay. There's a lot I forget. Like I had my birthday a few weeks ago now, but
you went to the beach, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually went by myself, and it was really cool. Like I don't really do stuff like that.
What beach
usually,
did you go to?
Usually I go, with people. I went. Jamie let me use her spot at Indian Beach, Salter Path. So, yeah, that was really cool. It was nice. I spent basically almost 2 whole days on the beach, pretty much. I mean, I went inside and ate and napped a couple times,
but just by yourself.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really cool. It was very relaxing, very peaceful, because it was right after Memorial Day, and their beach doesn't get too crazy. I mean, there's a lot of people, but it's very family oriented. And so I got there. Actually, I think I got there on Memorial Day, and I was kind of in the later afternoon.
And it wasn't packed.
People were leaving. They were all leaving because they...
Oh, because you got there on Memorial Day. They were leaving to go home because they probably had to go to work the next day.
Yeah, Monday was Memorial Day, and then Tuesday was my birthday, and so May 31st. So I got there and just hung out on the beach for a little while, then went in and ate and just chilled out, like outside on the
have you ever
deck.
done that? You've never done that, have you?
No.
Yeah, I've never done it either. I don't know that I would.
I loved it so much.
Bet.
I think that's a sign of getting older.
What, liking days on the beach by yourself?
Doing
just with yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Just, well, both.
Did you read a book?
I read some of My Favorite Murder, the book, because I had started it a long time ago. Yeah, the podcast, they wrote a book, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had a book.
Yeah. And that's so funny that we're talking about that now, because Karen from My Favorite Murder is from Petaluma, California, where she's saying she's from.
Right, okay. And so that's why you even know where it's at.
But I said Southern, I meant I knew I meant Northern, like, obviously, but because she talks about it a lot.
It's such a big state, like, it's hard for me, and, like, we didn't even live there that long.
Right. Yeah.
Like, technically we're from California.
I don't,
I was 6,
I'm from
you were
Youngstown
4.
most of the time.
You tell people you were from...
That I'm from Youngstown.
Youngstown.
Yeah, because I was only there till I was not even 5.
Yeah, but now if you think about it, we were only in Youngstown for about 10 years. We've mostly been down here now.
True. I just feel that most of my impressionable years...
The formative years.
Yes, were in Youngstown. And that's why I say I grew up there. I guess technically I grew up in both places, and I'm still growing up.
Yeah. Because I know you love to make fun of my southern accent I've acquired after almost being here for 25 years.
But you acquired it right away.
Yeah, because my friends were very country.
Yeah. So were mine, or some of mine.
I picked up on it
actually,
really quick.
Most of my best friends weren't.
And my closest friend is pretty country.
Well, one of my closest high school friends, Megan, her and her sister have completely different voices. Her sister sounds very country, Jessica, and she doesn't. So, we used to make fun of her in high school, too.
But think about this. Like, I'm around Sean and the Creeches and Stephanie.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
They both have land. Like, it's so funny because well, no, I guess the Creeches don't have land, but the Basses do. But the Creeches migrated from Europe to here. Like, all of the Creeches are in this, like, concentrated area.
Oh.
That's why there's so many Creeches. And they're probably all related, but they don't, like, know each other. Yeah, did we tell you we met another, like, in the pool? What happened? So we were in the pool, and, Anya is so funny about her rings that you throw into the water, and then she dives to the bottom and gets them.
She still does that.
Yeah. So there was this other family, and they had rings, too, and they said, well, you can tell ours are different because we have the last name put in them. And I was like, oh, what's the last name? And they're like, Creech. And I was like, oh, we're kind of Creeches too. I mean, I'm not a Creech, but it's just like you always were running into people with the last name Creech. It's everywhere here. It's like a plague.
Yeah, I met someone recently, and she was saying she's over like toward Wilmington and not related to the Smithfield, Johnson County Creeches. Yeah. So that was interesting. That's pretty cool, though. Well. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, of course, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Also, like and follow us on all of the social medias. And if we can always use help on Patreon, we are self-funded.
Thanks to those who have already supported.
Yes, thank you so much. We need to make a list or something.
Of the people?
Yeah, we should do that.
Well, I think it's Sandra, Jade, and Jan.
Cool.
And I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. I'm sorry if I am. I don't think I am.
Well, you should be on that list too, you who are listening right now.
Our other beanies.
Okay. So, you want to say it together?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Share your spare
and have a good afternoon.
Bye. Thank you.